There's a grave threat to our nation, a threat that's not foreign but domestic, the threat of fascism here at home.
We've got to defend the system of constitutional democracy that exists against fascist coups and violent insurrections.
But first, let's take a step back in time, more than 200 years ago, when George Washington decided to do something unheard of. He voluntarily stepped down from power. That act set forth a precedent for every president who followed: the peaceful transfer of power. On January 6, 2021, this tradition of peace was nearly shattered. In an unprecedented and outrageous display, Donald Trump desperately tried to cling to power.
Despite the fact that he lost the election by more than 7 million votes,
He tried to push state legislators to appoint their own electors who would vote against the people's will.
he called the Secretary of State in Georgia and said,
I just want to find 11,780 votes.
When these efforts failed, he did the unthinkable. He incited a mob to terrorize the Capitol.
they wanted to kill members of Congress. They wanted to hang Mike Pence.
Thankfully, the insurrection failed, but the big lie persists. It's a simple formula. Repeat a lie enough times, no matter how absurd, and people will begin to believe it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Oh my God, is there so much energy in the air? Okay, so on the last show, we declared that last week was the beginning of the end of Donald Trump's political career. And since then, it's honestly entered into some kind of weird dystopian downward death spiral that I don't think he'll ever recover from. But this show is going to be more about the rise of Kamala Harris, her new VP pick, which after doing research on the guy, I love him. I think he's a great choice. And a lot of people are extremely excited about it. In just 2 weeks, Kamala Harris has done a couple things that nobody else could do. She united the Democratic Party completely, and she's even got Republicans running away from Trump. People that you never thought were just, they're out. They're done with it. And I think that tells you everything you need to know about the shift in energy and the shift in power and even the shift in the polls, because she not only made up the difference of what Joe Biden was losing by, she's even leading now. And to see that in the polls, a swing like that so fast is to me absolutely amazing.
And it's not just like one or two, and it's not just one or two types of polls. Like, who do you choose? There's a lot of different ones going around with different verbiage to get at different perspectives. And it's not even just like Jeremy said, it's not just that she's like getting closer. She's now winning in polls, swing states. And she just picked someone that's going to basically guarantee the non-red lunatic states that are middle America are going to go, wow, you just picked someone exactly like us. That campaign knows what it's doing. It knows what it's doing from a social media side. It's messaging. Somehow the Democratic Party got the memo about how to message in the 21st century, because every single video, every appearance where Kamala or now her vice presidential pick or any one of her surrogates is talking, their messaging is now on point. And a lot of that has to do with how garbage Donald Trump's campaign is, how quick it's spiraling down, and how predictable he is in that spiral. But most importantly, J.D. Vance has become the best just dirty turd in Donald Trump's diaper, because he's a walking, talking joke. And let's just say he is the Harris, that's funny. The Harris Walz campaign is picking up and running with it. And it's fantastic.
Every time JD Vance speaks, he helps the Democratic Party out. He's like a psyop, man. I swear, he's a Democrat plant.
He's the Manchurian Candidate. They're going to say that.
How much do you want to believe? How much you want to believe they're going to drop JD Vance and be like, he was a Democrat plant?
They're going to do that. They're going to do that.
I can see it now. Okay. So I have a great clip of Kamala Harris doing something that Donald Trump would never do. We got some awesome videos of Tim Walz, and you're going to really see who he is. We got some great overlays, a lot of information. And then we're going to talk about at the end, Donald Trump recently
He
seems
made a
like he's
friend.
getting rejected by SCOTUS. He's getting rejected by Fox News now. I have a couple clips there.
Yep.
And he decided, and I don't know who in their right
He made a
mind decided
friend.
this was a good idea. He did an interview with a kid named Aiden Ross. For those of you who don't know, I'll pull the overlay up now. If you don't know who Aiden Ross is, you're not missing anything. This dude is
there's no reason
degenerate,
to.
offers nothing to society. As a matter of fact, this guy has been banned from Twitch for using repeated use of slurs. So his kid was born in 2000. He's an internet personality, an online streamer. He is known for his collaborations with celebrity and live streams, playing video games. He previously streamed on Twitch, where he was banned for his repeated use of slurs. And he is now one of the top streamers on Kick, which is basically the Truth Social of streaming platforms. It's basically where people like him go to still make a living. But
I just find it funny because there was no, like, you got to look at the timeline of all this ridiculousness. They thought, the Trump campaign, that they had it all locked up at the convention after the debate, and they didn't have to do it. They didn't have to secure anything. J.D. Vance was picked not just to be at Project 2025 plant, but because in reality, Donald Trump was never going to pick a person of color or a woman.
No.
Only because, other than his racism and sexism, the guy believed, and his campaign believed, they did not need to court any more people. They did not need to reach out and show that they are part of a wider community than just white racist scumbags. Well, guess what? Now he does the interview where he just let all of his racism out. So some moron decided to book him in an all-black journalism conference. Then he decides to try and court Gen Z with this guy who's I don't even know what he is. He is a nobody that just got a lot of views, and that's how it works nowadays. You get a bunch of views, suddenly think you're a tough guy. But
this had to be like Barron's idea. Barron had to do that. Like, I don't know whose idea was this, because like, hey, you need to do an interview with this streamer who nobody knows. We'll talk about that later. That's for the end of the show to have some fun with. So let's first, before we start, I want to give, I think we can see now how legendary this decision of Joe Biden's was. If we wouldn't even be in this position right now, we wouldn't have this shift in energy if it wasn't for Joe Biden's voluntarily stepping down. The man had the most successful first-term presidency in history, at least modern history. And I like to remind everybody, during 2 of those years, he has had the most useless Congress. They
weren't even combative. They just served no function. They were so dysfunctional, they couldn't even do anything for their own party. Like, think about that.
They spent the last 2 years doing bullshit investigations, impeachment inquiries, holding hearings on fucking dishwashers and gas stoves. That went nowhere.
Oh, body parts.
Had
baby body parts.
Big old fat 0 hearings on gun violence in America. That's your Republican Party. That's what you voted for. So anyway, let's get into it. I just want to give a shout out to Joe Biden. Not like he actually watches our show, but think
it's important to recognize that, as you showed in the opening video, the act of voluntarily ceding power to allow a democratic process to replace you, that's what was monumental about the founding of this country. Yes, there were flaws, and yes, we should always talk about them. But if you're just looking at the context, the severity of the decision for George Washington they were ready to let him be president for life. And who knows what would have turned out after that. He went, nope, got to set precedent. We don't have kings in this country. And it never became a problem again. Everyone understood it until Donald Trump. And what does Joe Biden do? Not just win an election against him, not just likely win a second election. We could talk about that and debate it. But he decided to show the American people once again how precious democracy is, what kind of personal sacrifice it takes to step down from the most powerful position on the planet. Think about that. And he handed it to a black woman.
I think that's an excellent way to end your 50-year public service career.
Yep.
To try and save democracy. I just can't emphasize enough how big of a deal, because I know a lot of the focus has shifted to Kamala Harris and now Tim Walz, and it's been taken off of Joe Biden completely. Nobody's even talking about Joe Biden anymore.
And you're peddling
So
conspiracy theories about Biden coming back.
I have a post at Donald Trump's True Social that I think proves that Donald Trump misses Joe Biden. Actually, you know what? Before we show the clip, I'm going to save it for later. I'm going to save it for later. All right. First, let me play this clip. This is Kamala Harris doing something that I think is just amazing. This is something Donald Trump would never do because everybody knows what Donald Trump
Everyone knows he would not do this.
Never would happen. This is epic.
I would like to begin our discussion of healthcare today on a personal note. You've written that the day your mother was diagnosed with cancer was one of the worst days of your life. Tell me about that, and what her battle taught you about the healthcare system in this country.
It was awful, you know, for anyone, and so many of us have had the experience of that first time hearing that there is an illness that will lead to death. My mother, she said to my sister and me, I want to meet you guys for lunch. And she showed up at the restaurant wearing makeup. My mother never wore makeup. And her hair was blow dried. She was dressed up. And I looked at my sister, I said, what is going on? And my mother walked to the table and she took our hands and she said she'd been diagnosed with colon cancer. That was one of the worst days of my life, truly. Give me a second. You know, Audie, I knew this was going to happen.
This shit has me halfway in tears because I remember finding out when my father was diagnosed with brain cancer. Again, it's not, Trump would never, ever do something like that.
Well, and why wouldn't he? What kind of weakness does it show to have actual emotion, right? See, women can't be president because they have emotions. Well, guess what? Emotions translate to compassion, you stone-hearted rapist prick. Okay?
Exactly.
Kamala Harris, Tim Walz are examples, all right? One of our loyal viewers just said it. They are examples for not only kids to look up to. It is important to remember us adults have not had anyone to look up to for a long time that we could believe in. We trusted Joe Biden, but we are starting to believe in Kamala Harris. And I'll tell you why. Yeah. Showing that vulnerability, showing that human side of herself. Donald Trump doesn't have a human side. J.D. Vance doesn't have a human side. They're weird, freaky creatures, okay? To be able to look up to your president, your leader, and go, wow, I just saw the human in them that I identify in myself. If that video, if you look at that video and you try and pick it apart as anything else as what it was, there's something wrong with you. And I think seeing a leader in this time where we finally realize that it's okay to actually, you know, like care and want good things for each other and admit weaknesses and fears in ourselves. I think that's
why is that
something Donald Trump would never do.
No, what is wrong with a better life for every American? Like, I don't understand why the concept is so hard to get for some people.
Because they're shitty, self-centered bullies. That's it.
I agree. So Mike has some great information on who Kamala Harris is, and why we should vote for her. So some of her positions and everything.
People talk about her inexperience, and I'll say right off the bat, she literally has more experience than J.D. Vance and Donald Trump put together when it comes to governing, laws, and just serving Americans. Okay, let's not forget J.D. Vance has been a senator for a year and a half. Donald Trump's never served anyone but himself. Kamala Harris, she majored in political science and economics from Howard University, a historically black college. She got a law degree from Hastings College in California, where she resides. In 1990, she started her career as a deputy district attorney in Alameda County, California. In 2003, she was elected the 27th district attorney of San Francisco. That is not a small feat. In 2010, she was elected California's attorney general, first woman and black person to hold the job. In California, right? The most liberal state we got, 2010, by the way. In 2016, she won a U.S. Senate election from California. 2014, she was reelected against a Republican. And 2016, she won Senate. We know the history from there. Let's look at her college time, because one of the questions Donald Trump decided that must be asked is, what is Kamala Harris? Is she a black person? How could we ever know? She decided to just turn black last week. Well,
I know, like, what the fuck?
Like, come on. During her time at the HBCU, historically black college and university, Harris was affiliated with the College of Arts and Sciences Student Council, Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, Incorporated and the debate team, because, you know, she wanted to be in service, so she needed to learn how to talk to people and debate them. Since 1908, the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority and its members have made their marks across several industries and impacted communities and spaces. The names you will recognize: Felicia Rashad, that was Mrs. Cosby. We won't talk about Mr. Cosby, but yep, Coretta Scott King, Rosa Parks, Maya Angelou, Toni Morrison. I mean, no one would. If someone would suggest any of their blackness, they should be like banned from this country. Sorry. So
yeah,
come on. Like, now,
that's amazing though to me. I just and it's one of the oldest, if not one of the oldest,
1908
black sorority in the United States.
Now, people want to talk about her career as prosecutor. We could have a whole episode on that. Are there things that anyone is going to love that every prosecutor? That is there anyone who will love everything a prosecutor did? No. I'm sure I could find fault in a lot of it. What matters is what someone does is they learn and grow and transition to their older selves, to a bigger gavel, if you will, to be able to govern over more people. The more people you look after, you have to be able to evolve your ideas to suit them, not just yourself. And she did start programs that were helping people. She didn't just throw people in jail. But what happened since she's been vice president? Because that's the big talking point, right? She's done nothing. She's done nothing at all. Well, let's take a look at a couple of things. While she has been vice president, she's helped build a coalition of civil rights leaders and lawmakers to put pressure on Congress to pass John Lewis's Voting Rights Act. What people don't realize is the vice president is schmoozing in the best possible sense. Their job is to help grease the wheels of government, to make sure everyone has a positive path, is working together, to get lobby and lawmakers to work together. Now, the John Lewis Voting Rights Act ultimately failed when Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema decided to hold out for political clout.
Shocker.
And this is fun. Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema have endorsed Kamala Harris for president.
I know, right? It's like, what?
Now, what about abortion? Okay, the Republicans don't care, so they won't knock her on that, except to say that she's pro-abortion, so yay. Since the death of Roe, she has toured Planned Parenthoods and clinics and met with lawmakers from 18 states, building a coalition to protect reproductive rights. She is ready to act. What I mean by that is, again, the vice president is working to get people to work together. So the way you do that is you have to network, right? The man himself, the art of the deal, Donald Trump, likes to pretend he's a deal maker. The guy hasn't made a deal in his life. He either supports money and then never pays them, or he's got some scheme to get an upper hand. The man doesn't know how to make a deal because all he wants is to win. He just thinks of himself and doesn't understand what compromise is. But what Kamala Harris has done while she's vice president is she's gone around to see how she can build a coalition to better people's lives, in this case, abortion. So when a Joe Biden second term or a Kamala Harris, hopefully first term happens, she'd be able to, with the overturn of the Congress maybe and the continued hold of the Senate, actually bring people in to start affecting laws. She has worked on immigration, as people like to keep, their only argument is that she was the immigration czar. Number one, no one uses that term anymore. Stop. Now, did Joe Biden say she was in charge of the border? Yes, but if you're dumb, you'll think he means that she will be able to sign things and make things happen at the border. That's not the way our government works. That's why we have checks and balances, the Congress that makes laws, the Senate that passes them. But what Kamala Harris has done has actually gone around to border states and local businesses and small business bureaus across the country in border areas, so that when they were trying to pass the bipartisan bill, money would be put into upgrading technology, provided training, hiring more agents to patrol borders with modern technology. She was doing her job, and then Donald Trump said not to pass the bill that the Republicans and the Democrats worked on. So when you say Kamala Harris didn't do anything for the border, she was doing her job, and Donald Trump decided to naysay it.
You know, I wonder if Donald Trump, if they would have put in the bill a moat with alligators and snakes, I bet Donald Trump would have been all for it.
He would have been like, yeah, that was my idea. We got lasers and alligators with lasers and shark lasers.
The sharks with freaking laser beams.
Now,
I want sharks.
One thing I think it's important to note
heads
is one of Donald Trump's criticisms of Joe Biden was that he was Sleepy Joe, right? Sleepy Joe. he was low energy. Low energy, Joe Biden, low energy. I have the most energy. People say they're amazed at my energy. So if he's so energetic and Joe Biden was so weak and slow, why in 1 week does Kamala Harris have 6 campaign events in 6 different states, and the chicken himself, Donald Trump, has 1?
I like that picture of Trump, by the way. That's
it's his most flattering picture. I just find it funny.
Lost some weight there.
It's interesting. It's interesting. So she's out energizing him. She's got policy galore. She's got experience, and then she added the coolest guy I think I've ever heard about.
Yes. Speaking of which, let's get into who Tim Walz is. First, let me play a ad that was put out by Kamala Harris today to basically introduce Tim Walz to the world. And I'll tell you what, man, the more we're going to show you, I think we have like 3 or 4 videos, and you're just going to fall in love with this guy. I'm telling you.
Sometimes life is as much about the lessons you learn as the lessons you teach. When I grew up, community was a way of life. My high school class was 24 people. I was related to half of them. I learned to be generous towards my neighbors, compromise without compromising my values, and work for the common good. My dad was in the Army, and with his encouragement, I joined the Army National Guard when I was 17. I served for 24 years. I used my GI benefits to go to college and become a public school teacher. I coached football and taught social studies for 20 years. And I tried to teach my students what small-town Nebraska taught me: respect, compromise, service to country. And so when I went into government, that's what I carried with me. I worked with Republicans to pass an infrastructure bill, cut taxes for working families, signed paid leave into law. I codified abortion rights after Roe got overturned. Because I go to work for the common good. But enough about me. Let's talk about you. Because that's what this election is about. It's about your future. It's about your family. And Vice President Harris knows that. She too grew up in a middle-class family. She too goes to work every day, making sure families can not just get by, but get ahead. We believe in the promise of America, in those values I learned in Nebraska, and we're ready to fight for them. Because as Kamala Harris says, when we fight, we win.
Oh, I got goosebumps.
I told Jeremy before the show, I'm not allowing myself to get that excited. I unfortunately think my body language is betraying me, and maybe my shirt choice.
I love
it. Those stubborn orange stains.
All right, so he's a veteran of 24 years. He was a member of Congress. He was the highest enlisted ranked member of Congress, I believe.
Yep.
Public school teacher. I love that because I have a bone to pick with the public school system.
Yeah,
and Trump and the Heritage Foundation, they will end the public school system.
Yep.
Like it will cease to exist.
Done.
And now he's the governor of the state. Like this guy, and he's on the agriculture committee. He's a hunter. Like he literally checks every single box. This is like the dream ticket right here.
You know what's really funny? If you take away the stuff about him that we on the left love the most, his progressive ideals, he is one of the most progressive governors. I mean, him and Whitmer, maybe. I mean, it depends on the state they're fighting in, but he is almost everything Donald Trump and the Republicans think a candidate should be. He's in the military, likes guns, likes hunting, right? Got to be a hunter. He was a football coach because obviously Donald Trump has said, he doesn't shoot his dog. He trains dogs so that you don't have to throw them in a death pit.
Yes.
The guy answered a question once about how he kind of looks a little older than you'd expect for his age. And his answer was something to the effect of, I was a public school teacher for 20 years and I worked in the cafeteria that whole time. You can't come out of there keeping all your hair or something like that.
That's funny.
Like the guy is quick. He's funny. And what was the official Trump response memo that came out after Kamala announced him? Something, blah, blah, ding, bang, zoom. All he does is think that the Midwest is cows and rocks.
Yeah. Donald Trump sent an email out.
The guy's from the Midwest. The guy's from the Midwest.
The headline in the email was like, Tim Walz is going to destroy America. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? It makes no sense whatsoever. So Donald Trump is panicking, bro. Panicking. Full on panic mode. All right, so let me play a video. Now, this is something that Republicans hate. Tim Walz, if you guys remember, there was a big story about this not that long ago. He, in Minnesota, signed a law where all children are fed at school for free, which is the way it should be, by the way.
Crazy liberal agenda. We're going to put gay in the food.
And some Republicans in Congress, one of their agendas is to ban free lunch in public schools. Like, I don't even understand why you would choose these people.
Well, they've banned free lunch. They've banned water breaks in Florida. They're trying to get rid of worker protections. They have lowered the age for children to work in dangerous environments in several states.
Yeah.
They don't love kids.
This is a video that this is when I fell in love with this guy. I just want to get taking care of an entire state's children, make sure everybody's fed, his entire state's children in school. That's amazing.
It is now law.
You know the messed up part is the Republicans called him a pedo after all this, that because of the kids and stuff being around him. Like, this is.
Do you realize that was some old white dude that managed not to be awkward? That guy he exudes friendliness. He's like the actual nice uncle that isn't a creepy uncle, like Donald Trump, like J.D. Vance, like all the Republicans. And other people have said this. This is not my thought, but like we are now facing the party of friendliness and humor and compassion and kindness and joy versus just disgusting, mean shittiness. Vote accordingly.
And you guys have seen how gross Donald Trump is around his daughter, and how he talks about her, saying that if she wasn't my daughter, perhaps I would be dating her. That's actually a direct Donald Trump quote. So this is a video of Tim Walz hanging around his daughter, and this is what normal parents look like with their children. They don't talk about them in a sexual manner. It's disgusting. But this is a real family that loves each other and cares about one another. So
don't have to fake it.
Yeah, you can see the difference immediately.
Hey, Minnesota, Governor Walz here, out at the State Fair with my daughter.
Hope.
Every year we as a family do something old and something new. I get to pick something, a classic, the old mill ride, to do that. And then Hope gets to pick something new.
I think we're going to go do the slingshot.
Which I don't know what it is, and they're keeping it from me. But then we're going to go get some food, corn dog.
I'm vegetarian.
Turkey then. And
turkey's meat.
Not in Minnesota, like turkey special. Food. And we will go do some of those things and report back.
Oh my God!
That's a good comment right
there. Yes! Oh my God!
Giggling like a little baby.
Yes, that was good. Good job.
Like, this is a guy that is genuinely having fun with his daughter. Like, there's no transaction. There's no, well, I'll be nice to you and buy you a car if you help run my organization. No, he's just taking his kid out for fun and trying to get people to go to the Minnesota State Fair. Like, how do you not love that guy? How do you not love that guy?
Dude, I'm trying not to cheese this whole time. Well, I had to smile this whole time. I'm so excited.
I already told you this, but I want to tell everyone else in case they don't know, because I saw this at work today, and I didn't want to get misty at work, so I kind of swallowed them in. And this is very relevant because the Republicans want to tell you that you have to give birth, when you can give birth, who your child has to be, who the father has to be. But they don't want you to have access to any sort of reproductive health care. Do you know why his daughter's name is Hope? Well, it's because she was conceived via IVF after him and his wife tried for so long and couldn't conceive naturally, and they named her Hope because that's what she represented to them. That's what medical science represents to millions of people around the world.
Exactly.
IVF is not something to trifle with. You want babies, you want to repopulate the planet, you should be really cool about IVF. But they're monsters. The Republicans are monsters. So you cannot find a more genuinely decent human being than Tim Walz. Like,
Jesus, you can't. A half an hour. Okay.
Talk about him for another half an hour.
I know. I really the more I find out about the guy, the more I like him.
And like every video is like, oh, there's one where he's like signing a bill at like his kitchen table, and he's just talking to someone, and he looks over, and it's his dog. Like it's hilarious.
Speaking of him having some zingers, here is him speaking in Philly as a VP candidate for the very first time. Let's hear what he has to say about JD Vance. And
watch Vice President Harris behind him.
VP Harris is trying her best not to laugh, and it's not working.
Like all regular people I grew up with in the heartland, JD studied at Yale, had his career funded by Silicon Valley billionaires, and then wrote a bestseller trashing that community. Come on.
Dude knows how to message.
That's not what middle America is. And I gotta tell you, I can't wait to debate the guy.
Listen to the energy in this room, man.
You can say whatever you want. Trump crowds don't sound like that.
No.
Well, he also doesn't fill any stadiums or arenas, so.
That is if he's willing to get off the couch and show up. So.
Oh, there it is.
See what I did there?
The guy's just funny. Hey, come on. Yo, you know what's funny though? What he represents is maybe the final downfall of the proper Southern Democrat. Oh, we must be gentlemen. That's not the world we live in anymore. The concept of the gentleman isn't what you old farts thought it was. It's just being not a dick and being a decent human being. And look at that guy. There's nothing that he's not willing to satire and make fun of in a clever way. It's not some dumb Mountain Dew joke that the crowd didn't even know what to do with, JD Vance. This guy made a fun of you at your expense about a freaking couch. And it was the most genuine zinger I've ever seen. Come on.
Oh, it's so good. JD Vance is never going to live that down.
Wait.
Yeah, if you don't know what JD Vance and couches have in common, Google it. You'll
Dad jokes. Dad jokes incorporated. Hell yeah.
Dude, the memes are brutal. The internet is brutal sometimes. All right, so let's move on to Tim Walz and see how Fox News is handling all this. They are turning on Donald Trump, and even SCOTUS rejected Donald Trump. So this was breaking news.
Oh, and didn't someone turn on him today in
who was
one of the defense? It was in Arizona. Jenna Ellis,
the attorneys.
Jenna Ellis turned state's witness.
Yep, he is done. Stick a fork in him. But here's the Supreme Court ruling, which Donald Trump is not happy about.
This news breaking moments ago, the U.S. Supreme Court now refusing to delay former President Trump's sentencing in his New York criminal trial until after the election. Trump says he did nothing wrong and plans to appeal the conviction on all 34 counts of falsifying business records. He is facing possible prison time or a fine at the sentencing, now set for the 18th of September. So a little more than a month from now. We'll keep track of that from here.
So if you didn't hear that, Supreme Court rejected Trump's bid to delay his sentencing, which is a day after my birthday. And oh my God, honestly, that would be the perfect gift. The guy deserves to be in prison at this point. I mean, are we even asking at this point? Does he deserve it? No, he deserves to be in prison. The guy's torn this country apart, been a fraud, an adjudicated rapist. Like, how much more? He's best friends with Jeffrey Epstein. We could go on and on. Like, we could do a 10-part series on all this shitty stuff that Donald Trump has done throughout his life, and probably not even scratch the surface.
Yeah, no, you couldn't get it all. No.
All right, so here's another clip of Fox News. This part of it's about the stock market, because every time the stock market does good, Donald Trump says it's because he's going to get elected, and as soon as it does bad, they blame Biden.
And I got to tell you, the way they're talking about it, it's like you're watching an MSNBC or, depending on what day of the week, CNN feels like supporting whomever.
Fox News
is starting to actually trash Donald Trump. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. And then the other part of this is they talk about Donald Trump as the reason the immigration problem is what it is. Here we go.
I know, and you do not politicize these things, but the Donald Trump thing in the market amazes me. When they're up, it's all because of him and looking forward to him. when they're down, it's all because the Democrats and how horrific they are. I know you're not trying to zing your colleagues, but it's your colleagues in your party, sir, who torpedoed this, who didn't get the facts right on what you just outlined was in that measure. They killed it. Ironically, not Democrats.
Right. It was, and it was painful to be able to watch it. It got stirred up in all the presidential politics, and several of my colleagues started looking for ways. After President Trump said, don't fix anything during the presidential election. It's the single biggest issue during the election. Don't resolve this. We'll resolve it next year. Quite a few of my colleagues backed up, looked for a reason to be able to shoot against it, and then walked away. I get that. That's a decision everybody makes in it. My issue is if we're pursuing everything, we very often end up with nothing. If we're pursuing someone coming later to fix it, later seems to never come.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
You
They're
can't
finally doing it.
convince me that Donald Trump wanting to do the debate on Fox isn't the dumbest decision Donald Trump could make. And I'll tell you why. Because if I'm Kamala Harris, I do the original debate and I just stand there by myself and I bring my vice presidential candidate and we just bash Trump the whole time. That's what I would do on that debate. And then I go to the Fox debate if I'm Kamala Harris. And I'll tell you why. If you see that's what they're doing, okay, and that's during the day television. That's when like the weirdos that don't do anything and just sit at home and stare at Fox News all day, that's who's watching that. And if they're starting to not just bash him, but like speak the truth. Okay, I originally said we should say they're bashing him, but what they're actually doing, I apologize for what I'm about to say, but like they might be attempting to do some journalism. I don't know. At the very least, they're starting to maybe realize that Trump is done. And I guarantee you, I'm going to make that guarantee because what the hell do I have to lose? If Kamala Harris does that debate with Donald Trump on Fox News, Fox is not going to bail him out. They are going to bury him. And the reason they're going to do that is America has a very short memory. And despite the lawsuit and despite their complicity in the coup and all of this, America will forget what Fox ever did if they destroy Donald Trump during that debate. And that's exactly what I think they are going to do. So we'll see.
What was the one post we have that Tim Walz did? Because
hold on.
Before we go into
right here. This is from Tim Walz, and it's beautiful because it kicks the Republicans right in the junk. It's true. I'm a veteran, a hunter, and a gun owner, but I'm also a dad. And for many years, I was a teacher. I know basic gun safety isn't a threat to my rights. It's about keeping our kids safe. This is good. I had an A rating from the NRA as a Democrat. Now I get straight Fs, and I sleep just fine.
I love this guy. All right, let's check in on see how Donald Trump's running mate is doing. And I actually titled this video, Not All Heroes Wear Capes. Because watch the gentleman in the hat and the blue shirt behind JD Vance.
This is what you get when you pay people to show up to your rally and they don't give a shit what you're saying. It's not
right.
Like,
you can tell this guy.
If this was a true believer, he wouldn't have been goofing off.
Right. And JD Vance, just so you know, is running around the country saying that Kamala Harris is going to take away your red meat. Like these are the
your
talking
stoves.
points.
They're going to she wants to take your stoves away.
Yep. And no red meat. They're taking it away. But
no red meat. You won't be able to cook your red meat if you don't have stoves.
And then at the end, I also have Nancy Pelosi's reaction, which is
fun.
Classic.
Harris wants to ban fracking, ban offshore drilling, take away your gas cars. And by the way, I think in America, you ought to be able to drive whatever the hell you want to because this is America and we believe in freedom.
Put all those empty seats in there.
She wants to take away your gas stoves. She even wants to take away your ability to eat red meat. That's how out there she is. That's real.
You're fired.
The fake news will fact check it. They'll fact check it true. She actually said that. In other words,
she didn't say that.
She thinks that she's better than us. She thinks she's better than you.
Did Donald Trump make a mistake when he chose J.D. Vance?
Oh, I think it was a great choice.
That was Nancy Pelosi's diabolical laugh. I love it.
Oh man,
I love it.
Like it's just, and I don't know if it's just people bored and want to write headlines, or if it's starting. The rumors are starting, but like I don't know is if Donald Trump legally can kick Vance out, because this is the interesting sticking point MAGA doesn't understand because they don't know how anything works. Donald Trump, he has a running mate. They had their convention. JD Vance is the legal running mate of Donald Trump.
You're done.
Kamala Harris is yet to be technically the actual nominee. She was endorsed by Joe Biden.
Exactly.
And said, I am not running. I think she should be your next president. And so she launched her campaign. And when the Democrats have their convention, they will nominate her. So I don't think, Donnie, that you can dump Couch Potato Boy. I don't think you can.
I don't think you can.
But is it going to happen? I don't know. Is he going to try? Because you can't deny that JD Vance is a freaking pile of garbage on Donald Trump. And
Donald Trump,
I thought he picks only the best people. I thought Trump
he needs to stop listening to his damn kids, because crackhead Don Jr. is giving him some bad advice. Apparently, he's one of the people that talked him into picking JD Vance. I think Elon Musk has something to do with it too.
And well done, Steak Eric he could barely breathe without drooling.
Right, and I don't know. It had to be Aaron or somebody that talked him into this Aiden Ross interview, which we are about to get into.
Oh boy.
My God. But before we do, I do want to play this new Lincoln Project ad about JD Vance.
It is good to
These
laugh.
guys are just amazing. By the way, Lincoln Project, hello. Call us. Have your people call our people. We'll do lunch.
The Olympics give us examples of unparalleled athleticism, feats of human flexibility that defy imagination. But there's one man whose superhuman flexibility is unparalleled. That man is J.D. Vance. Just watch as J.D. Vance flips on his most passionately held beliefs.
I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him. I think that he's noxious and is leading the white working class to a very dark place.
Tonight, we celebrate he is our once and future President of the United States of America.
Unbelievable! Do you believe in miracles? Okay, here we see J.D. Vance trying the technically complex and difficult move of dodging his comments about women.
We're effectively run in this country by a bunch of childless cat ladies.
As a parent, you should have more power. You should have more of an ability to speak your voice in our democratic republic than people who don't have kids.
Of course, for a whole host of reasons, it's not going to work out for some people. We should pray for those people.
Oh, incredible! Just incredible! Can you believe he does all this from the comfort of his couch? Wow! Just wow! J.D. Vance, the undisputed champion of intellectual dishonesty.
Oh my God!
Oh, come on, man! You guys gotta stop this couch thing. This shit is killing me.
I don't think there's anything that the Harris campaign needs to improve on. I think they've shown that they are going to start a modern campaign to destroy the Republicans who barely know how to program their VCR. But if I can make one suggestion, please just hire the Lincoln Project. Please. I know they would never do it. I'm just saying.
Hey, former Republicans
are amazing.
Yeah, Midas Touch has been doing some pretty amazing videos as well.
Yep.
I mean, they always have, but they're going really hard to paint.
No,
too,
now that they can really go at it, they're doing some good stuff too.
Yeah, so I love their work as well. All right, so let's get into the we saved the best for last, or the weirdest for last.
We will try to get Michael Moore, Sheldon. We will try.
Yeah, right. Donald Trump decides to do a interview with a streamer. For those of you who don't know what streamers are, see, like Mike and I do a podcast and we stream live, but we're not streamers. Streamers are people that get paid to just basically like review music, play video games, like, you know what I mean? You can't watch somebody playing a video game, that kind of stuff.
Well, I don't begrudge anyone that does that, by the way.
No, they make mad money, man. I'm 46 years old, but I'm an old head gamer. So I follow a lot of streamers like Sketch, Jinx, Queso. I like Queso. I like Queso too. Kai Sennett is funny too. I chose Speed. I watch all those guys, and there's like so much drama in the streamer community. Like Mr. Beast is having some drama. There was a guy named Dr. Disrespect who was found texting minors or tweeting or messaging
there's a lot of
minors
creeps out there too, unfortunately.
Right. He's now a right-wing idiot over on he got banned from Twitch for messaging a minor, and then now he's on Kick. So Kick is actually letting a child predator freely promote on their platform. That should tell you everything you need to know about
Anything for views, anything for money.
Yeah, we have a Kick account, but I can't stream to Kick, and honestly, I don't give a shit.
Honestly, if they let him on there like that,
yeah, they've got some disgusting people. All right, now Aiden Ross did an interview once with Andrew Tate. When Andrew Tate left the room, Aiden Ross got up on stream and smelled his fucking chair.
Sniffed it.
I'm not exaggerating. Look it up. It's on social media. It's everywhere. You can see it. And I think Ian Ross live on stream gave away Andrew Tate's escape plan. All right. So here's Aiden Ross looking up the word fascism. Okay. This is the screen. And he actually, just to give you an idea of what we're working with here, the mental capacity of this guy. This is Aiden Ross looking up the word fascism. Okay, I'm just saying it like that for a reason. You'll see why.
What does a fascist mean?
Not starting off good there, pal.
It means you are a far right authorization on ultra-analytic. Oh my God, ultra-analyst political ideology movement characterized by dictator leadership, centralized autocracy, militarism, forcible suppression of opposition. So I don't know what that means, bro. I swear to God. I don't know what the fuck a fascism is. I don't know what the fuck that is. Benito Mussolini and Giviante Gentile and Jason Stanley. Like, who the fuck are these people, bro? Never heard in my fucking life. What is an example of a fascist? Yo!
It's so bad. It's so bad. He couldn't pronounce
Benito Mussolini.
You know, maybe that's why Donald Trump did it, because they like read at the same level, apparently. I don't know. I don't know.
The fact that guy makes a living streaming and we're trying to get a GoFundMe off the ground is like confounding.
No shit. Yeah,
like,
we can't even
need a better quality of
$2,500 for better equipment through GoFundMe, and this asshole is making thousands of dollars a month by just being a douchebag,
sniffing butts and chairs and
sniffing Donald Trump and just interviewing Donald Trump. So, all right, let me play this video. So the interview it's cringe the whole way through, but I made a couple compilation videos. This one, I've been looking for one for a while, but I found, you know how Donald Trump does this with his hands? I actually found a video where somebody put the accordion, and I'm sorry, I don't know who made this video, or I would totally give you credit, but I didn't make this.
This video,
I added the Aiden Ross stuff in, but this video is just perfect. Watch this.
Can you imagine if I received the questions? It would be the electric chair. First thing I thought of when I heard about it is, how does the press get this information that's classified? How do they do it? You know why? Because it's an illegal process. You are old enough to have seen a time that was much different. You never saw heads chopped off until a few years ago.
And I'll tell you about TikTok.
They built pipelines, and they failed.
Trump is going to keep TikTok going.
Hundreds of millions of dollars to consultants and lawyers, and they failed.
I forgot about Roger Stone at the end. I'm sorry. I totally forgot I had Roger Stone at the end.
Looking back at that video, weird. Looking back at that video with Aiden Pants Sniffer guy, normally we make fun of Donald Trump because he thinks he's so perfect, and we talk about how portly he might be. Is it just me, or did he look decrepit, ancient, underweight? Like, is he on Ozempic or something?
He looked
terrible in that video. Terrible.
Yeah,
it looked like a cat exploded on his head. He looked like garbage.
He's having a meltdown, and I have proof. Okay, here's a couple posts from Truth Social. We get on there so you don't have to. Don't do it.
This is a great comment.
What, Trump proving he's by interviewing a chair sniffer? Yeah, that's just I'm not.
You
weird.
win.
Yeah,
you win.
You're right. All right, so Donald Trump misses Joe Biden. Donald Trump misses Joe Biden. Look at this. The most radical left duo in American history. There's never been anything like it, and there never will be again. And now he's going with crazy Kamala.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't know. Is comma, indeed, comma, crazy in all caps.
Crazy.
I hear there is a big movement to bring back Crooked Joe. Aw, you missed it, buddy.
Is there? Is there when every delegate has already said they're going to vote for Kamala? How there's people that filled Philly today waiting for a chance to see them? Guess what, Trump? No.
Yeah.
Wait, there's
They were
another
actually
one
chanting.
of his where he's
they were
like,
actually chanting, "They are weird" at the rally.
where's the one where he's like completely unhinged? The other,
that
yeah,
one.
ooh.
Yeah, this one's even better. It's a little long, so let's go. All right.
Yeah, but
ready?
it's-
Here we go. What are the chances that Crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in U.S. history, whose presidency was unconstitutionally stolen? Why is he
Why
capitalized?
is that
Random words.
capitalized?
I don't know. From him by Kamala, Barack Hussein Obama, crazy Nancy Pelosi, shifty Adam Schiff, crying Chuck Schumer. This guy's
My God, he really says all their nicknames.
and others on the lunatic left crashes the Democratic National Convention and tries to take back the nomination, beginning with challenging me to another debate. I'm sorry on my yelling, but everything's in caps. He feels that he made a historically tragic mistake by handing over the U.S. presidency, a coup, to people to the people in the world he hates the most, and he wants it back now. So he's trying to say that Joe Biden wants to come back.
Also,
He's
wait
saying
a
Joe
minute.
Biden regrets his decision. Is that what he's saying?
Does Trump think that Kamala Harris is the president now?
I don't
Because
know.
he
You know what's funny?
says,
It's funny because when we did the show about the RNC, we were like, why are they celebrating like they've won already? Because I honestly think as long as Joe Biden stay in the race, because like I said, Trump's entire identity for the last however many years has been about Crooked Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe Biden, merch, T-shirts, all that stuff is about Joe
but the
Biden.
beauty of that is it's the perfect example of how worthless the Republican Party is, because since Trump existed, there hasn't been one discussion of policy coming from the Republicans. They built their campaign not to convince people that they are better for them, that they can help them, but that the other guy is so bad, you should vote for me because they're bad and we're good and they're bad.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you have Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, who in their first thing together today, not only are they managing to eloquently bash Trump and Vance in ways that those guys' tiny brains can't comprehend, but they're also establishing policy. You could look at their history. You could look at their what they've done when they've been in office. There's a wealth of experience, knowledge, and policy behind the two of them, where Trump and Vance have rhetoric at best that's failing.
Right.
So when Joe ducked out, they don't know what to do. They don't understand what to do.
The only thing Vance has going for him is he's a veteran. That's really the only thing he has going for him.
And to be fair, couch fetishists are probably like, "Yay, it's our chance!" Woo!
Right?
It's our time.
What? Here, we have a couple minutes left, so I just loaded another video. I found this is kind of off topic, but like the thing I like to do is I like to look at foreign news, like world news, on how they feel about America and how they view us. But I think it's important how the world thinks of us. And I found this video of this adorable little Dutch couple, and they interview them and just listen to how they view what's going on in the United States right now with Donald Trump. And I think this is worth listening to. Just hear me out.
In Europe, nobody understands what is going on in America. So we don't understand what Trump does. No, we think it's totally ridiculous.
It's a bit strange.
In our eyes, as we see it, that a criminal can run for president. That's totally out of order in Holland.
You can have a president who has a conviction, who has been convicted, but the president who is not born in the USA, that's a no-no. Somebody like Clinton, he has to be impeached because he lied. And then you got Trump, who only tells lies. I don't understand it.
But it's also we can't imagine that somebody who's 83, 84, what is he, runs for president.
I just love how they know more about American politics than most Trump supporters do.
You know what? I had a
Oh my god! Oh my god! I almost forgot to say this. Jesus Christ! I'm sorry I didn't mean to get excited like that.
Yeah, do
you want to know why Aiden Ross is supporting Donald Trump? I'm saying I'm dead serious.
A pardon of
Aiden
some
Ross
sort?
supports Donald Trump because he doesn't want women's rights to be taken away. He thinks that Joe Biden is the one banning abortion. That's why he's voting for Donald Trump. That's how stupid this kid is. He thinks the abortion bans that are going on in the United States right now are a result of the Democrats. He even said it on camera. And whatever guy he was streaming with was like, are you serious, dude? Like, you're an idiot. Yeah, he's voting for Donald Trump because he thinks Donald Trump is trying to save women's rights. I can't make this stuff up. Like, the guy's a complete idiot, and that's who he's been interviewed by.
All I know is the quality of Donald Trump is very apparent to me in my only thought when I watched that video of that adorable Dutch couple. The only response Donald Trump would have to that video, if you showed it to him, is he would make fun of their accent.
Yeah.
From a couple who can clearly speak at least 2 languages that we know of, to Donald Trump, who has very, 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 very hard time speaking one language. And he doesn't have any way to go against what they said, which were all valid concerns. He would just make fun of their accent, like he made fun of the reporter with a disability, like he makes fun of anyone that isn't in his mind perfect.
Well, at the NAB, like anytime a reporter asks him a difficult question or puts them on the spot, he then attacks them or attacks something about them, like a bully does, like an insecure, just diaper baby bully. I can't stand this guy anymore. Like, how is anybody? All right, how is anyone? He's literally a diaper baby. How is anybody undecided at this point? How the fuck?
I don't know.
I don't know who I'm voting for yet. You got 2 working class people who work their way up to the top, and then you got 2 elitist losers that have been handed everything their entire lives and never worked a hard day in their lives.
We hate the coastal elites.
Had a job at one point, but Donald Trump's never done a difficult thing in his life.
Hey, don't forget, the Republicans are about what make middle America great, and they hate the coastal elites, exactly like Donald Trump is.
They are the coastal elites.
They don't even know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You're on the coast, Florida. You're the elitist. Okay? You guys are the corporate elite.
I think our show on Sunday was accurate. I think we've started to see the end of Donald Trump. Okay. The interview where he just was like, I'm racist. That
I know.
I think finally made a lot of people go, oh my God, we could finally just call him like we see him. And that's what's been going on. That's what Kamala Harris does. Tim Walz has apparently been doing it for a while because now that everyone's noticing him and you're looking up videos, they're not all from yesterday and today. This guy's been railing against Trump for a while. So the quality of human being is obvious between the two. Which ones are garbage, which ones are actual human beings you can empathize with and like people have said, you know, have your kids and yourself look up to. But it's just the quality of candidate. Okay, at some point, you can't keep calling the other guy a poopy head and just making up lies and contradicting yourself within your own tweet. Okay, Trump opened the door to what I'll call the name calling, for lack of a better term, but Trump is just a bully. When Kamala Harris call out Donald Trump, it's because they're pointing out what an asshole he is. There's a difference. They're not lying. They're just pointing it out.
We have one video left. This is actually part of the Aiden Ross interview where he asked him about Venezuela. Like it's pathetic because you could tell all the questions were written by Donald Trump. They gave him questions, and that's all he did was ask questions. However, during the stream, Aiden Ross gives Donald Trump a Rolex. Now, keep in mind, Aiden Ross is a private citizen. If he's donating to a campaign, the maximum he can donate is $3,300. I'm not sure how gifts work, and I'm pretty sure Rolexes are worth more than $3,300. Also, there is a wrapped Tesla Cybertruck. Oh, by the way, if you guys want to watch a really good review and a really good test on the Cybertruck, go to Whistling Diesel on YouTube. Oh my God, it's a piece of shit. wow, like half of it's just glued together. It's
Did you see I'll call it rumors going around where people are saying raccoons are breaking into Cybertrucks because they think they're dumpsters?
Yeah.
I hope that's real. I can't say that there's any proof of
I've
that, but
seen
like, would that
pictures where
shock
there's,
you?
Like,
come on.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. It looks like
We have
giant
like 2 or
garbage
3
can.
of them in my area, and every time I just laugh and point at it.
Right, it's
the dumbest thing.
$100,000 piece of shit, and then these people put like $3,000-$4,000 wraps on this expensive piece of shit. Now, also, I would like to point out Donald Trump. We've played plenty of videos where he's completely 100% against electric vehicles. They wanted to ban electric vehicles. Well, guess what? Guess who now loves electric vehicles? Donald Trump. Do you know why? Because Elon Musk told him, stop talking shit about electric vehicles or I'm not going to give you any money. Yeah. If you want my support, you got to support electric vehicles. So now Donald Trump's out there going, I didn't say I was.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say what I said. I said.
All right. So anyway, let me
Sing
play
boom.
this video where Donald Trump receives tens of thousands of dollars in gifts and answers a bullshit question.
Yeah, you look good from both sides. Yeah, it doesn't really matter at all. X, come on outside with the truck. Come on. Yeah.
Do you what do you think about what's going on in Venezuela, the whole situation out there?
Well, I know it very well, and Venezuela is right now being run by a dictator.
Oh, do you like my buddy Felix's shirt?
I love that.
Felix, by the way, Mr. Trump.
They've released tremendous numbers of criminals into our country.
That's President
If you
Trump
look at Caracas, it was known for being a very dangerous city, and now it's very safe. In fact,
yeah, they can see it.
I didn't know this. Now I know it. Now I know it's worth it. Well, my boys said, well, that's such a big show. I don't know what you're doing, but...
Check out this rap and let me know your honest thoughts.
I think it's incredible.
It's incredible. Everything's incredible. I know 7 words. Incredible. Bing, bop, zoom, zippity bop. That's the words I know. It's incredible.
Yep. Bing, bing, bong,
Bing,
bing.
bing, bing, bing,
Yep.
Iron Dome. Bing, bing.
So if last week wasn't enough to prove that, or our last episode, with last week being the end of Donald Trump's political career, if that wasn't enough proof, this Aiden Ross interview should just tell you exactly
Like,
how pathetic this
Trump
movement
is one step away from just taking pictures with people on like I don't know. I don't even know what bottom there is for Donald Trump, but like there is no bottom. You don't even know who to court, how to court them. You're trying to what? I don't know who you are. I don't know what you do, but I'm on your show because my kid said it. Please vote for me. I am the hippest man there ever was. Like, what are you doing there?
And the funny thing about that question is we can obviously tell that Aiden Ross can't spell Venezuela. I'm surprised he even said it correctly.
Venezuela. I don't know what that is.
Oh, wait, and even it's funny, after he gives him the watch, Donald Trump is like, I don't know what you do, but like,
no, but think about that. That's the funny part. Let's break that down for a moment, okay? He said, I don't know what you do. That's exactly what I think the reason Aiden, whatever his name is, Buttfloss, gave Trump the Rolex, so he can go, look, I'm so rich, I could give you a Rolex. He wants Trump to think he's just this tough guy. Did you see him? Hey, yo, X, you follow me. Let's go outside. Like,
yeah.
All right, guys.
Pathetic, man. Yeah, calm down, Aiden. Your career is almost over. You just don't
Take it
know
down
it
like 35%.
Yeah. Because everything Trump touches dies, and hopefully your career.
Oh, this is a good point. This is a great point. I forgot.
Yeah, why give him a car? He can't drive.
No, presidents are not allowed to drive.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Donald Trump's been chauffeured around everywhere his entire life. So, all right,
well,
that's all we have for the show.
For
I know, right? That's all we have for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Yeah. I think the choice is pretty obvious at this point.
It's getting more and more clear.
You decide. It's a free country, at least for the next few months, depending on how the election goes. So vote accordingly. Don't be stupid. Don't vote for this. This is dumb. This is dumb. This is truly the movie Idiocracy in real life. Like,
yeah, but it's like before the CGI was put in. It's like that doesn't look right. It's not even the good version. It's a bootleg.
I know. It's anyway. We will be back on Sunday with another episode at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got a couple big episodes we're trying to plan out currently. So we got a lot of stuff going on. If you'd like to help us out, you can like and subscribe. It's totally free. click the reminder, leave a comment. If you'd like to help us, because we are trying to get better equipment. My computer can barely handle running the show and the video editing software. So if you'd like to help us out, we do have a GoFundMe link in the description of the video. Other than that, that is all we have for today. We hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Vote Harris and Walz. That's all. Democrat all the way down ballot, man. But yeah, the momentum is definitely in our
blue,
favor.
No matter who.
That's right. So, all right, everybody, have a good night. We'll talk to you soon.
On the border, the choice is simple. Kamala Harris supports increasing the number of Border Patrol agents. Donald Trump blocked a bill to increase the number of Border Patrol agents. Kamala Harris supports investing in new technology to block fentanyl from entering the country. Donald Trump blocked funding for technology to block fentanyl from entering the country. Kamala Harris supports spending more money to stop human traffickers. Donald Trump blocked money to stop human traffickers. Kamala Harris prosecuted transnational gang members and got them sentenced to prison. Trump is trying to avoid being sentenced to prison. There's two choices in this election: the one who will fix our broken immigration system and the one who's trying to stop her.